Conduct disorder is also very common in childhood. Now, conduct disorder is a child, usually preteen or teen, who's going to have problems in 4 major areas. And these areas, of course, include aggression. So you'll find them being aggressive towards other children, aggressive towards family members, or even aggressive towards animals. So you see these histories of torturing animals, cutting the tails of dogs, cutting the tails of rabbits, and they do that for their own personal pleasure. They also destroy property, so they vandalize school property. They break into things, they go into the science labs, they destroy the computers, they destroy the microscopes, they lie, they steal, and of course, the main issue with conduct disorder is the violation of the rules. They are unable to conform to the rules of society. They don't know what causes this. Are you born bad or do you become bad? Is it nature or is it nurture? And probably it's a little bit of both. We cannot control the genetic component, but we can control the nurture component. And that's usually where the treatment for these conduct disorders come from. Now, conduct disorder is common. It's about 10% of school-age children, and again, more common in boys than in girls, approximately 9 to 1. What would you expect in the family histories? Very similar to the family histories of ADHD. You're going to see their parents also having conduct. You're going to see their parents also having antisocial. You're going to see their parents also having substance abuse problems, alcohol problems, and of course, mood disturbances. Usually the diagnosis or the onset is during late childhood or early adolescence, and luckily for society, most of these kids get better. So the symptoms tend to remit. But what happens to that percent that do not get better, that continue to violate the rules, that continue to have problems with aggression, lie, steal, etc., then those children, the moment they turn 18, then they're officially labeled the antisocial personality disorder. These are kids who probably are the bullies, they fight, they are very disruptive, they run away, they cut class, they steal, they shoplift, they break into the neighbors' homes, they steal the neighbors' cars, and because of that, you know that their school is going to be affected, their grades are going down the tubes, and they're probably going to use alcohol or drugs in order to make themselves feel better as well. The main differential diagnoses will be environmental problems, attention deficit, but the most important differential here is going to be oppositional defiant disorder. Now, the treatment of these children is not so much medication, but changing their environment. It's going to be behavioral modification, trying to get the parents involved into providing a good support system for these children, trying to get the community to provide a good support system for the children. Remember, one of the theories of learning was modeling. So if you have kids who are in a bad environment, is it possible that these children will become bad? Sure, because they don't know anything else. So what you try to do here is that you try to expose them to good, upstanding members of the community, like the Big Brothers and the Big Sister program, which are mentoring programs. You've got programs like nighttime basketball, which the major cities have, where these kids, instead of running around doing all kinds of things, they're in the gyms, they're in the parks, they're open later. So they're playing softball, they're playing football, they're playing basketball, and they're there with adult supervision. They're not getting in trouble, and they're learning about structure, they're learning about rules, they're learning about regulations. Another program that exists is something called the Scared Straight program, where you take these kids and basically expose them to what prison life is really like. And hopefully you scare them into leading a straight life. Boot camps have also been used for the treatment of these children, which of course they haven't been proven to be very effective. So the main treatment for these children will be behavioral modification. And what you try to do is control the behavior, control that disruptive nature which it is that they have. If you're going to use medications, only use it on children who are very aggressive and very hostile. And of course, the treatment then will be the antipsychotics, most likely the atypical antipsychotics. But the number one treatment will be family therapy, behavioral modification. And the differential diagnoses, the biggest one, of course, will be oppositional defiant disorder.